Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Hampton location, and today I'm excited to share with you this 2021 Volkswagen Jetta. This Jetta is currently showing just over 40,000 original miles, and if you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report, alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll give you a quick condition overview around both the interior and the exterior of this Jetta, and we'll go over some of the interesting and unique features that make this such an appealing car. Now, of course, starting here on the exterior, you'll find a relatively basic white paint scheme. Not a ton of metallic to report, but the condition is nice, as we can see. I know we don't have the sun directly overhead, but the paint condition looks very nice here in natural lighting. A lot of sharp body lines that are accented well with that nice finish, as we can see across the hood. And as usual, I'll take you really close to the panel so as to look for any dings, dents, scratches, or irregularities in the way that light reflects off the panel. Make your way back. I do have a very small mark just there on that upper body line, but it's very small. And once we make our way all the way to the rear, it all presents very nicely here on the driver's side. Looking at these wheels, they're a nice contrasted finish of piano black, and the outer facing portion is that nice machine finish. Presents very nicely, and that machine finish matches these accents here on the window trim very nicely. Making our way to the front wheel, similar story, very nice condition. You can see the silver brake calipers just behind that wheel, and it all presents very well. The tires are in nice shape as well. Now, looking here at the front fascia. Really attractive front end on this newer Jetta. I love those horizontal chrome slats across the grille, especially when paired with the black accenting just behind it. It matches the Volkswagen emblem perfectly, and also we can see that trim carried into the headlights in a really clever way. And it just completes that look in the front. It makes it look very cohesive, very smart design by Volkswagen. And it's also a good time to point out that these headlights are in perfect condition. You can see no issues with the lenses here on the headlights whatsoever. And all of the trim looks nice. We can also see just how attractive the front end is for a vehicle in this segment. I think it's one of the better looking options. Now, looking here at the front wheel on the passenger side, very similar story as we'll find on all corners. This wheel looks great. Again, going real close to the panel, looking for dings, dents, scratches, etc. Pardon me. We can see all the way to the rear, it presents very nicely. And we have another wheel here in the back in similar condition to the others. Looking at the rear of the vehicle, we'll find a small ding here on the top of the trunk. You can just see it above where that telephone pole is in the reflection. Taillight lenses in great condition, pardon me, as we can see there. And the rear bumper has that very subtle trim on the lower portion with that chrome. Looks very nice. Now let's make our way to the interior. We'll find a similar color scheme with the dark interior with the lighter silver and chrome accents throughout. Looking at the driver's seat here, condition is very nice all the way throughout. The bolsters all look great. Same goes for your passenger seat. And the center armrest as well. No marks to be found there. Making my way inside. Nice solid close on the door. You can see this beautiful silver trim carrying from the door card across the dashboard and all the way to the other side. I'll waste no time firing it up here. Grab the key. In a world of push-button starts, it can actually be refreshing to turn a real key. And we can see here gauge cluster lights up with that nice red accenting and the red needles. They look awesome. You can see the mileage reflected in the odometer. Steering wheel, I'm used to seeing Volkswagens with piano black trim. However, this one is trimmed in silver, and I think it lightens up the interior nicely. You can see all of the controls and the condition look fantastic. Nice Volkswagen emblem in the airbag cover just there. All the way around the steering wheel, no marks, cuts, or damage to the physical wheel. Looking here throughout the center console, you have some piano black trim just around your infotainment system. I currently have it on the radio menu. You can see in reverse, I have that nice high definition reversing camera. And we can go back to the radio portion. Looking a bit further down, you have some climate vents and your controls. They all look fantastic. AC blows very cold and the heat blows very hot, which is a nice thing to have today. You can see a couple of USB-C charging ports there. Of course, that's the most modern way to charge, and it's going to be a very efficient and quick charging system. Just behind, gear selector and piano black trim. It's surround, we can see perfect condition, and a nice silver accenting is a great touch as well. You also have your parking brake and a couple of economy functions just there. And we'll talk about the eco portion of this car in just a moment under the hood, because this car is an amazing option if you're looking to save at the gas station. You can also see a couple of cup holders here and the center console armrest that I mentioned a moment ago. But next up, let's take a quick look under the hood at the powertrain in the Volkswagen Jetta. I'll meet you there. All right, so now we're here under the hood of the Jetta, taking a look at the engine bay. First thing I'll note, engine bay is very clean. You can hear it running happily. There is no engine cover here on top of the motor. However, it gives us a good view at all of the components, the more intricate connections, and they all are very clean. You can see the turbocharger just there behind the motor. All of the black plastics look fantastic. You can see your air filter box there. Windshield washer fluid reservoir just there, easily accessible. And all of the metal portions and plastic portions here at the front have a beautiful shine. Reservoirs are nice and clean. It's great to see that this engine bay is so clean, but really what's so impressive is this engine from a practicality and economy standpoint. This is a 1.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Makes 147 horsepower, which is plenty enough for this vehicle to go about its daily use without any hiccups or any lacking of power under daily usage. But what really is so interesting about this powertrain is not only the classic reliability you find with Volkswagens, but also the economy. You're going to see 30 MPG, and that's the city figure. The highway figure from the EPA is 41 miles per gallon, which is a hugely appealing aspect of this powertrain. Having such an efficient car is going to obviously save you loads when it comes to filling up your vehicle with gas. So we love to see that. It is a traditional hood prop setup here, so I'm going to cut the video, put this down, and we'll go explore the second row of seating and the trunk. I'll meet you there in just a moment. All right, so as you can see, I've closed down the hood, and we're going to take a look at the second row of seating. Now, as you can see, I haven't moved the seat from where I was earlier, and at 6'4", sitting behind where I would sit comfortably driving, you might think in a Jetta it's going to be cramped. However, I hop in, you can see the carpets are very clean, and making my way inside, I have a tremendous amount of legroom. Now, I was sitting rather close to the steering wheel, as you may have noticed earlier, but still, to be 6'4" behind a 6'4" adult in this car, I have absolutely no wanting for headroom. I have a good inch or two above my head, and a good 5 inches, perhaps, between my knees and the seat ahead of me. It's a really nice thing to see that there's so much room in this relatively small and efficient vehicle. You get a great view of the cabin there at the front. It's a very nice place to be in the back as well. The seats are comfortable, the door cards are well appointed. It's a very practical, usable vehicle. Now, next up, let's take a look here at the trunk space, which is plentiful. Despite all of that rear legroom, you don't sacrifice any space here in the back. You can see a massive trunk. It's very deep. You do have these levers here, which will drop down those rear seats in a 60-40 split, making this infinitely more practical than with the seats up. This vehicle really does do everything for a driver who just wants a car that's going to be good to them. It's going to go easy. Driving it, you won't experience any hiccups or issues. You're going to save a lot of money, and it looks good while doing it. So, of course, that's why the Jetta has been so successful over the years, but we're glad to have this one in our inventory. And if you have any further questions, please reference the listing at alphacars.com, and there you will find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.